Hello everybody, and welcome back to What If Tarn and the DJD were in TF Prime. Now let's not waste any more time, and let's get started. We continue off with Tarn asking Knockout how they can bring Megatron back online, with Knockout saying the only thing that could bring him back is some sort of power source, like an energy source that's really powerful. Tarn thinks and then asks how Megatron brought the dead of Cybertron to life, which starts him explain everything. He also includes the battle Megatron did, where he had tested the Dark Energon on that dead army on Earth that Optimus and Ratchet had to fight. To which Tarn gets an idea, so he opens a ground bridge to where that battle was, with him finding the Dark Energon shard left there by Megatron. He then returns to the Nemesis and heads to Megatron's body, where he stabs the shard into his body. But when the body moves, it isn't Megatron in control, but instead he comes back as a mindless Terracon zombie. Tarn tries to reason with this Terracon, but it attacks him. Tarn pushes him off, but this leads the Terracon Megatron to attack Knockout, resulting in him killing Knockout in the process. Tarn doesn't waste time, and so he shoots at it, but Megatron's fixed armor plating is able to tank even Tarn's blast, and so he charges at him, with the two fighting leading them out of the lab, with the rest of the DJD getting involved. Voss manages to snipe one of Terracon Megatron's leg joints, causing him to fall on his knees, to which Tarn has no other choice but to kill Megatron himself. And so he charges his fusion cannon to full blast and shoots it into Megatron's head, killing the undead Megatron. Tarn is silent, looking to Megatron's body. Starscream then questions how this happened, to which Tarn thinks about it and comes to a conclusion that since the psychic patch works as a link both ways, it's possible that when Bumblebee went into Megatron's head, Megatron must have went into Bumblebee's as a means of escape. But when Tarn killed Bumblebee, he had inadvertently killed Megatron himself, with Tarn saying that last part quietly. Starscream to himself is now a little glad Tarn is here, as he has caused Megatron to be no more. After Tarn says what he said, though, Starscream proclaims with Megatron's spark extinguished that he shall be the leader to rise up in his place. But then Tarn turns to him and grabs him by the neck and says, "In Megatron's absence, there is no command, but that I will be a guide for us until Optimus Prime and his Autobots are no more." Tarn then squeezes Starscream's head with his hand, and eventually it's enough that it implodes, killing Starscream for good. Sometime later, Tarn holds a meeting where he says the same words to the crew that he said to Starscream, with the rest of the crew agreeing as they chant, "For Megatron!" Due to these events of Megatron, Bumblebee, Knockout, and Starscream's death, the episodes Out of His Head and Shadow Zone are ultimately skipped. So, the next episode is Operation Breakdown, with everything about this episode going the same, except one thing. Tarn, like Megatron, doesn't want to save Breakdown, and with no Starscream here, no rescue team comes to save Breakdown. So, after Breakdown and Bulkhead defeat Mech, the rest of the Autobots arrive, with Bulkhead and Optimus looking to each other. Then, they offer Breakdown a chance to join their side, to which Breakdown agrees, as not only did the cons not come for him, but he explains what happened to Knockout and how he blames Tarn for his death. So, Breakdown joins Team Prime as the new member. The episode Crisscross would be skipped since Arachnid is dead, and so Mech wouldn't go hunting for Cybertronians. So the only change from canon is that Arcee would have to talk to Jack about how she can't stay in his mom's garage. So Jack would have to pretend to his mom that he sold Arcee, to which his mom would believe it after some time. So June doesn't learn of the Autobots' existence, but this also means that Arcee isn't able to watch Jack as closely as she was able to. Metal attraction would be changed, however, as with Breakdown gone, Tesserus would be sent to retrieve the relic, as Tarn believes he can handle it himself. He doesn't need the full team. With the Autobots, since Bumblebee is dead, Breakdown would go with Optimus on his scouting mission. While Bulkhead is about to go alone on the mission, Ratchet reminds him of how dangerous the DJD are, so Arcee would still go with him. Miko would still try to sneak out with them, but without June being a nuisance and the danger to DJD, she is sent back right away. Tesserus would find the Polarity Gauntlet, with Bulkhead and Arcee seeing him, to which they come up with a plan. When Tesserus tries to leave, Arcee jumps out and shoots him, then Bulkhead slams into him. The two tag team him, but Tesserus gets bored of this, so he starts messing with the gauntlet until it activates and starts pulling them towards him. We see a horrifying scene as Arcee is being pulled ever so closer to his chest grinder, but before she can get grinded up, Bulkhead decides to take it to him by allowing the pole to pull him towards him at full speed towards Tesserus, knocking into him, causing Tesserus to drop the gauntlet, to which Arcee grabs it and asks Ratchet for a ground bridge, to which once one is open, Bulkhead and Arcee make their escape, with Tesserus returning, to which Tarn, in the most sophisticated tone, says that he's failed him, and next time he will have someone else do the job, as he is a member of the DJD, and he couldn't handle one mission alone. The episode Rock Bottom would be ultimately skipped, with the only thing changing being the Autobots have a chance to get the scraps of energon left by Starscream to bring back to base, which actually helps replenish their supply by a bit. The episode Partner still happens, as Kaon is going through the logs of the ship, and he finds out about the Harbinger, to which Tarn sends Helix and Voss along with himself to get the immobilizer. The mission to get it ends in a dead end, as without Starscream, the location of the other half of the ship isn't found out. But Voss would still activate the ship's scanners to try to locate it, to which Team Prime arrives. Tarn comments on how good it is to see Optimus, his old friend. Optimus says he wishes he can say the same, but that this doesn't have to end in bloodshed, as Megatron is dead. But Tarn says that he will not stop the fight until he completes Megatron's last wish, that being to have Optimus die. But Optimus says, not today. And he faces Tarn, while Helix fights Breakdown and Bulkhead, and Voss fights Arcee and Ratchet, as Ratchet would go on this mission given how dangerous it is, with the kids staying at base to help with the ground bridges. While they try fighting, the crammed corridors of the ship make it hard to fight, so Arcee, Ratchet, and Voss are the only ones to have a real fight, as the other three are just slamming into walls, while Tarn and Optimus are able to still fight, but they are still hitting some of the walls. But Voss is too skilled for the two Autobots, and so he manages to stab Ratchet before kicking him into the wall, and he knocks Arcee to the ground, and he comments in his primitive vernacular language on how he heard what Arachnid and Starscream did to her partners, and how the only sweet relief about her death is she will be reunited with them. Then he takes his mask off and places it on her face, with him squishing it into her until the spikes poke out the other side of her head, and it is clear Arcee is dead. Breakdown and Bulkhead are enraged, so they push through Helix and the halls, and Breakdown manages to get a hit on Voss, knocking him to the ground, where Bulkhead then slams his wrecking ball into him while screaming, "How do you like this?" This ends up crushing Voss's head, killing the DJD member, with Bulkhead surprised he killed him, but he doesn't feel bad as he looks back at Arcee. Optimus is burned badly by one of Tarn's blasts, but when Tarn sees Voss is dead, Optimus takes the moment to slice his fusion cannon, the same way Optimus did to Megatron's cannon in TF1. Optimus tells Tarn to stand down, with Tarn saying he won't, so Optimus charges and beats him down, as Optimus is still more skilled than Tarn. Especially now that Arcee is dead, he is more enraged, so he beats up Tarn pretty badly. Helix sees this, so shoots some of his boiling acid at the other two and Optimus. Then he tells Tarn they have to retreat. Tarn, for the first time, is forced to fall back, but he looks to Prime before leaving. Optimus checks on the others and sees that they're alright, mostly. Then he is saddened upon seeing Arcee's dead body, with Bulkhead feeling the same, but a shadow of coldness comes over him, while Breakdown feels like he failed his first mission with the whole team, as he wasn't able to help save a teammate who died. When the bots get back to base, Jack is saddened by Arcee's death, with Jack saying that with Arcee gone, he doesn't want to be here anymore. And so Jack leaves to return back to his normal life. At the Nemesis, Tarn isn't happy as he grabs Helix and says that he thought they were warriors who would stay and fight, but Helix says with Voss dead and Optimus about to win, they had to fall back, and how would he expect to honor Megatron if he died there? Tarn freezes, then lets him go, and says that he still failed him, and they couldn't get the immobilizer, but he says the next time they meet the Autobots, it will be over, and he will take Optimus's head. The events of TMI actually managed to go the same. As well, the DJD is there instead of just Viacons, Knockout, and Breakdown, and stuff like that. The Autobots have one thing that they use to help win the fight, as Breakdown uses the polarity gauntlet to cause all the cons to get stuck together, which allows Optimus to grab the data cylinder, to which Ratchet would get to work on deciphering the code, of which is the formula for synthetic energon. The team is happy to hear that, but Optimus is a little disheartened that Arcee, Bumblebee, and Cliffjumper aren't here to hear this. But due to this, the rest of the episode doesn't play out. So Ratchet just begins to get to work on creating synthetic energon. And that is where we're going to leave it for now. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in part 3, which will be the penultimate of the story. But yeah, until next time, guys, good day.